those whom she is in debt to with fear over her military prowess.
So, a lot of people online are starting to say that America is finally facing the consequences of its past, especially the way Black people were treated for generations. Now, you keep seeing comments like, what goes around comes around, and every action has a reaction all over social media. And some people believe the division, chaos, disasters, and struggles happening in the country are more than politics or bad leadership. They see it as a spiritual. Others are calling it God's judgment on America for the pain, injustice, and racism Black people endured for so long. Whether people agree or not, the conversation is getting louder every day. More and more people are questioning why so many things seem to be falling apart at once. And honestly, the internet has turned this into a huge debate, with many saying history has a way of catching up to nations that refuse to fully face their past. Let us dive into the video, but quick disclaimer, this video does not support any bullying or harassment. It's there for educational purposes and of course to let you know what is trending on social media. Let's get into the video and I'll be right back with my 2 cents.
Hey y'all ready for part 2? Y'all know I got you. Hold on, here we go.
There is no way to escape the consequences. Okay, I didn't do this to you. Your ancestors did this to you. Your own ancestors did this to you. Your ancestors and your leaders today, your media today, your schools today. Like I said, recognizing and acknowledging the reality of what your ancestors really did and what they really were, and yes, who they really worshiped, understanding that is just the first layer. And as soon as someone accepts this reality, that layer, they just accept that. Then they'll jump immediately to, well, how do we make a change? I'm not like my ancestors. Isn't that good enough? How do we make a change so that we can avoid these negative consequences? Because they haven't accepted that second layer, that most important second layer, which is that the consequences cannot be avoided, cannot be evaded, cannot be resisted, and cannot be defied. The punishment is already underway in America. And like I said, at least one element of that punishment is madness. This is the toll of your history. That's what this is. This is the devil taking his due. Don't you know your own folklore? Don't you know about the devil taking payment in the form of your progeny? Those stories don't come out of nowhere. It's the story of your so-called civilization. Your ancestors sold you out for the sake of pomp and splendor in their day. They sold you out so they could sip their mint julep tea on the veranda of some great plantation house in the American South, while human beings were being whipped and being raped and being treated like animals. They sold you out so that they could have their steal their land and have their homesteads and their farms and their ranches soaked in the blood of Native Americans. They sold you out so that they could have the minerals and the oil and the gas and the gold and the diamonds from all around the world, from all around the global South, when colonized people were the ones digging those resources out of the earth for them, and then they themselves got buried in those same holes. That was the bargain. That was the deal that your ancestors made. You know, everyone thinks, or everyone says, that America was built on stolen land by stolen labor. Yes, but I'm telling you that there's no such thing as stolen land. There's no such thing as stolen labor. There's only borrowed land. There's borrowed labor, and eventually you're going to have to pay for it. And your payment is coming due. There's no fix. Because when you think about trying to fix things, what you really mean is trying to figure out how to put off the inevitable consequences, and that's not going to happen. You can forget about that. You can't vote your way out. You can't policy your way out. You can't march or protest your way out. You can't virtue signal your way out. You can't even reparations your way out. The bill is due, and payment will be taken, one way or another. And as I say, payment is already being taken, right now. I'm telling you, the fate of America is sealed. and it was sealed over 400 years ago. You're just now reaching the end of that contract. You know, I said some time ago that Trump was actually hated in America and Europe during his first administration, everyone knows. But he was actually popular in the global south. Around the rest of the world, people liked Trump. Arabs liked him, Asians, Africans, South Americans generally. Generally speaking, he was actually popular with the countries in the global south. Even China likes him, despite the performative rivalry. And I'll tell you why. Because we all recognize that he is the embodiment of the devil's due. Trump being appointed over the United States signaled to the rest of us the end of American empire. Now don't blame him for that. Like I said, it isn't happening because of Trump. Trump just proves that it's happening.
Child, it's a part 3. Whew. Got to be more careful, ain't it? Trump was supposed to punish us.
That's why they voted for him.
Because white America was mad that black people had finally overcome Jim Crow and the Civil Rights Movement, and things were finally looking equal. We weren't asking for extra, just wanted to be treated the same. And this was our punishment for being good at it. We were not supposed to be able to come back after all these centuries of oppression. We were not supposed to be able to come back and be equal. That was not supposed to happen. And because it did, and black women showed the fuck out and did it better, they threw a fucking temper tantrum. This is what a white America temper tantrum looks like. But it backfired. You didn't think he was going to sacrifice you. So no, we're not going to clean up your mess. You did this to spite me. Why the fuck would I help you clean it up? Nope. And all because we played the game fairly. You built the game. We just played along. We didn't want retribution. We didn't want to punish anybody. You couldn't even handle us playing fair. And even now, you are watching this world fall apart because you don't want to admit that you did it out of racism. Well, you know what? Let it burn then. If you're willing to let your creation burn down to the ground, then admit that you did this all to spite black people, so be it.
I don't know if anybody else can see this, but I've always said this to myself, and I've said this to a few people in my family. I think this nation is cursed actively. And you know, we can, you know, I'm getting into the spiritual stuff. I'm getting into my word. I'm becoming a Christ follower. But something in me tells me that this nation, the land that we are sitting on, will never recover. And we can see this, I mean, firsthand. Look at the unrest in our nation. Look how our people have never been okay. Our people have never been at peace with ourselves. Our people have never been in eternal peace with itself. This nation has always been at war, whether it's been at war with another nation, whether it's been at war with ourselves. Since they signed the Declaration of Independence, we have seen some sort of resistance or violence attached to the name of this nation. This nation cannot rest, and it will not rest. You can't acquire a nation the way we acquired it and not expect to feel something, right? They always tell us, right? These sayings that transcend our generations, they even transcend some of our bloodlines, right? When you think of what goes around comes around, karma's gonna come get you. Karma's a bitch, right? Like why are all these karmic sayings always in rotation, right? Why are all these spiritual sayings that basically whatever you do is going to come back, and you are going to reap what you sow, right? And this is just, these are all saying the same thing. Bad deeds do not go unchecked. Bad behavior does not go unchecked. The people in this nation will never be at peace internally because of what happened on this soil, on this land, has not been addressed. And people think that, okay, well, I can do something bad and I just die and it'll just go away. Your family lives with that. Your ancestors live with that. We're seeing that today. They are living with this unrest inside of them. This is why this nation has always been at war. 11 wars. 11 wars. How much blood do you think this nation has shed? We've dropped 2 nuclear bombs. We're the only nation that has used nuclear weapons. This nation is violence. All that violence, all that bloodshed, all them tragedies these dudes thought they could do to these people on this land, whether it was the Native Americans first, then move over to chattel slavery, right? The transatlantic slave trade. Then we still got the Mexican-American War. These people were fighting everybody in proximity. It's proximity with this nation. This nation will kill if it could. This nation has a violent tendencies, has violence in the spirit. There's unrest in the spirit, and it will not go away until there is acknowledgement and there is atonement. We don't know how these spiritual things work. That's the cool part. We don't know how they work. I'm just simply observing how this system works. I don't know how it works though. The inner workings, that's for God to know, right? Or the creator, or whatever you believe in. But whoever you believe in, whatever I believe in, are most likely the same person or thing or being. And they are not going to let this nation roll around in money before it has to roll around in its filth. And that's what this nation is doing. It's going to take people to understand that even though they weren't the ones who did it, someone's going to have to step up and take the bullet for this one. So, they have not talked about anything that has happened on this soil. All they care about is money, 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 money. This nation is destined to fall.
Honestly, with all that is going on, people are interpreting it as spiritual. They are saying because there is so much going on, it could be that the chickens have come home to roost. You know, what goes around definitely comes around, and what goes up definitely must come down. And it's that kind of time. It's just that it's that time has come for America, and many are interpreting it as being spiritual, as being the judgment of God to American soil for all the pain, all the everything that they had to take black people through. Yeah. So we see a lot of things happening. Things are not stable economically. There are people saying even God knew that giving them Trump is a punishment. That is a punishment from God. I mean, you guys could see what people are saying in the stitches. They are saying that they have Trump for president with all, like, everything being ruined, things falling out of place, and that is being interpreted as a punishment of God, a punishment from God. That's what they are saying, at least it's out there. When you look at this from another angle, black people have been through it. Black people have suffered years under the hands of palm-colored people, which obviously even now they still are suffering. And the only difference now is that nowadays they are calling them out. They are using phones. They are going on TikTok, social media, just social media to expose them. So that behavior from palm-colored people has somewhat reduced. It has gone down, but otherwise it's there. Every day we are seeing video clips of black folks being racially profiled, and their culture being disrespected, and what have you. Everything, we are all seeing it on social media, which is why that is being interpreted as what America is facing right now is a punishment or judgment from God. for what they have been doing to black folks. Yeah. So, yeah, you guys, I've also been trying to connect the dots. I've also been trying to connect the dots, and I can see that it makes sense what they are saying. It kind of makes sense. Somewhat like the case of the Egyptians and the Israelites. Yeah, back in the Bible days when God sent Moses to ask Pharaoh to let his people go. He and after he couldn't let the children of God go, after he couldn't let them go, we could see that God had to bring upon the Egyptians different plagues, different calamities until they had to let them go. Yeah, so people are interpreting that as a punishment from God. Yeah, because black people have suffered years and years of oppression, segregation under white folks. It is what it is, yo. So at the end of the day, people are entitled to their own opinions. Everyone has their own opinion. And yeah, do share your own opinion in the comment section below.